I'm currently on the top of El Paradon hike. That's El Chalten right behind me, the home of the famous trail that leads up to Fitzroy Mountain. That's just right over there. I can see it from here. I wanted to do a nice and easy hike today just to get my legs moving because tomorrow I'm going to Fitzroy. I just got here today and I have the next 3 full days in a row. So I want to show you everything that you need to know about spending 3 days in El Chalten. The bus ride to get to El Chalten from El Calafate was really easy and it only took 4 hours. And the views that you had along the way were really incredible, especially because as you neared El Chalten, you could see Fitzroy getting closer and closer in the distance. I decided to do this Paradon hike on the first day that I got here. I got here just around 2 o'clock in the afternoon because this is an easy 3-hour hike. It's not that hard. It's a big loop. You start from the town center, just cross the bridge, and then you can go either left or right and make a big loop. And honestly, it's mostly flat the whole trail. The only parts that are steep that go up and down are on either side. Almost to the top. It's really windy today, as you can tell, but it does not change the beauty. It's amazing everywhere you look, hiking up, looking around. You just have to stop sometimes and just look and be like, oh my God, I'm in Patagonia and this is what I'm looking at. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm here with my friend Weech from Brazil. The sun is already up, which is crazy. So we are gonna start this trek to Laguna de los Tres that goes up to Fitzroy right now. Empezamos! The sun's coming up. I guess we just reached the first kilometer. We are here, like with this view of the river behind us. The red light reflecting on the mountain is so beautiful. It's 3 degrees Celsius, which is like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and you don't notice. It's pretty warm with layers on, so I'm already sweating underneath. We entered at around 5:30, 5:40, and there was nobody at the booth, so we didn't have to pay, but we should probably avoid it when we go back down in case they ask us. Kilometer 1 of 10. To the right for the Mirador in Laguna de los Tres, or to the left, Laguna Capri. Let's go to the left. We just came out of the forest and got our first view of Fitzroy right back here. It's almost 7 o'clock. It took us an hour and a half and we just arrived to the Laguna Capri. It's incredible. You can see Fitzroy in the back has this amazing reflection here. Oof, wow. It's definitely worth it to stop at Laguna Capri on your way up to Laguna de los Tres. The first hour to get here was more difficult, more straight up, and then it kind of got flat. It's pretty easy. It's honestly not that challenging of a hike just to reach Laguna Capri. I think for the next several kilometers, it's also going to be fairly flat until the very end when we go up to the lake. The last bit has been really flat, but around every single turn, we just come out and see this amazing, incredible view of Fitzroy just right in front of us. It's so impressive. Off in the distance, you can also see a glacier coming down that mountain. I'm not sure the name, but it looks really cool. Just the ice coming through that valley. Y ahora subimos. This last bit is killer. It's basically like straight up on all these loose rocks. Ooh. It's definitely the slowest part of the trail so far after cruising for several kilometers on a very flat path. Ooh. Well, that last push to the very top was incredibly strenuous. It was basically straight up for, well, almost an hour, but it was very worth it. Obviously, you can see the views. Once we arrived to the top, we sat up there for a while and had some snacks, and now we've just walked down to get closer to the water, and it is just stunning. It is totally blue. There's a lot of people here, but it's a big enough place that everyone's pretty spread out. So we decided to climb up this other little hill to the left. And when we came to the top, we saw there's another lake on this side. It's so beautiful. The colors are darker blue. It's more turquoise over here. And there's two little floating pieces of ice right in the middle. Plus this one has like a waterfall. You can see the water dripping from the snow melting really and dripping down into the lake. It is really something. Today's El Chalten adventure is taking me to Chorrillo del Salto, which is like a little waterfall. And the reason I'm doing it is because it's easy. My knees hurt so bad from yesterday. I can't imagine doing a complicated one today. I think I'm getting too old, but my knees hurt really bad. So I'm hoping if I do a couple easier ones today, then I can do a longer one tomorrow for my last day. As you can tell, the sun is already up. So I'm hoping to enter through the booth before anyone's there. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a nice easy stroll to a waterfall today. Hope my knee feels better. My feet are a little sore as well. What am I doing to myself? Well, I passed through the front entrance at 6:45 today and there was still no one at the toll booth. So I think it's true that no one's there until 7 a.m. So when you first enter, you go left to Fitzroy or take the right trail to the Chorrillo del Salto. And what's nice about coming on this smaller trail early in the morning is that you're all by yourself because everyone up this early is hiking the Fitzroy one. And this, I think, is probably more of an afternoon one because it's easy. So it's kind of nice that I'm totally alone on this trail, have a little solitude hike today. I can tell I'm getting closer because the sound of running water is getting very loud. I'll be honest, it's actually a lot more impressive than I had expected. I thought it would just be like a small waterfall, but this is pretty big and there's a lot of mist coming off and making rainbows. It's really pretty. I imagine that on a really hot day, like in the middle of the afternoon, this would be so nice to come and hang out by the waterfall and get wet and go swimming. But right now at like 8 in the morning, it's way too cold for that. It took me about an hour to walk here, but really only because I was walking really slow because my knee hurt and I stopped a lot. I think you could easily get here in 40 minutes from El Chalten. It's a super easy hike. You could do it the day you arrive or in the morning like I did and do another one in the afternoon. Yeah, just a nice, quick, easy, pretty little hike to do here. After I rested for a little while in the afternoon, I decided to do an evening hike. So I first went up to the Mirador de los Cóndores. It's the Condor lookout. And honestly, it was easy. Once I started from the base, it took me just 20 minutes to go up at a pretty decent pace. Then after the Mirador de los Cóndores, where you could see everything from Fitzroy to El Chalten to El Paradón, then I continued on up to the Mirador de las Águilas, the Eagle lookout. I made it up there about 25 minutes later at a pretty decent pace. It's really not that difficult. There's a couple steep parts, but you have incredible views all around you. Then once I reached the Mirador, I could see Lake Viedma from there. I could still see Fitzroy. It was amazing. Then I just turned around and went back down. The total hike only took me about 1.5 hours. It's 5:30 in the morning. You can tell it's already lighter. I swear it's lighter than it was 2 days ago when I went to Fitzroy. It's actually even a few minutes earlier, 10 minutes earlier than it was when I went up there. It's 8 degrees. You can tell like it doesn't feel cold at all. I don't even have my jacket zip. I have one tank top and a fleece. To get to this trail, you don't have to go through any of the checklists, so you don't have to worry about showing an entrance pass. You just have to go to the end of this street where there's these zigzag stairs. Go up the stairs and then follow the route, and then you're on it. The thing that I love about starting these hikes so early is that you're the only person on the trail, completely alone, just this little person in this huge, expansive scenery. It's really amazing. I think I'm about at the halfway point right now. Everything is really flat at the moment, but I just have this incredible view right in front of me. I've got Cerro Torre on my left, I got Fitzroy on my right, and this big snow glacier in the middle. These sceneries are amazing, as you might expect. So far, the first half of the hike, it's been fairly easy. There's been a few points where you're going up and there's some loose big rocks on the incline that you have to go over, but nothing too strenuous, and it's over pretty quickly. And there's a lot of parts that are like this, that are just flat, either going through trees or shrubs, so you can get a pretty decent pace. It's 8 o'clock. I just made it to the top of Laguna Torre. I have this view of Cerro Torre and Fitzroy behind me. It's 8 in the morning. Nobody is here. I am the only one. I have the entire place to myself with this perfect view, and it's so serene. This might not be quite as impactful as Fitzroy, but Fitzroy was full of people. Here, I'm completely on my own. I've seen a few people on the trail on the way up, but not many. So if you want to do this trail, do it in the morning and you'll have this lake all to yourself.
So you can either stop here and turn and go back down, or you can continue along the path up to the right to go to the Maestri overlook, which I highly recommend. It took me about 45 minutes extra, but it was totally worth it.
What's really cool about being up here close to the Maestri overlook is that you can hear these big eruptions from the glacier, and I can't see pieces falling, but it's all these eruptions and hearing the ice break inside of there. It's very cool. Well, I've made it to the top of the Mirador Maestri. I can look down and see the glaciers. There's all these big chunks of ice floating down there. And the flies in this area are horrendous. They have been so awful. They're huge horse flies. This hike has been amazing, except for all the flies that are swarming around my face right now. And I definitely suggest that you come here as early as possible so you have it all to yourself. There's been almost nobody since I've been up here. Unfortunately, this is my last hike in El Chalten, but if you're coming to the Santa Cruz province, there's so much to see. And if you're coming here, I'm guessing you're probably going to El Calafate as well. So you have to go see the Perito. Perito Moreno Glacier. Just click on this video right here. Why not?